continuing story of Peyton Place. Starring Dorothy Malone as Constance Mackenzie, Ed Nelson as Michael Rossi, Ryan O'Neill as Rodney Harrington, Barbara Parkins as Betty Anderson, Tim O'Connor as Elliot Carson, Christopher Connolly as Norman Harrington, Patricia Morrow as Rita Harrington, James Douglas as Stephen Cord.
Carolyn Russell has a sharp wit, a dry sense of humor, and a maturity far beyond her years. Last night, she met a young man, Joe Rossi, who seemed to her to be the ideal target for a put-on. She put Joe on. She kidded him. She confused him. She angered him. But Joe had the last word. He reached out for her, challenged her. Carolyn ran. Today, the sharp wit is still, the sense of humor subdued. Carolyn is experiencing the feeling of being a child. It is the worst possible feeling for someone who considers herself a woman.
Hi. May I sit down?
You got a note from home? Hey. Hey! Sit down. You want that drink? I'll get it for you.
Thanks.
How come you're so agreeable today? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, it's just,
Will you let go of my hand, please?
relax. It's broad daylight.
Let go.
Homework?
Yes.
You gonna do it?
Some things people have to do.
And some things people don't.
Look, you're a big man, okay? You could put me down all afternoon.
Look, I admit I came on a little too strong last night when you tensed up. But forget it. I mean, it's as dead as what's in there.
You don't have to do that.
Some things people have to do.
Put them on. I'm disappointed.
About what?
I want to serve you breakfast in bed,
Oh, that's very sweet.
isn't it?
Put him up.
Obviously. Get back in bed. I want to spoil you.
Now, if I looked at my watch and said, I'd love to, but I'd be a bad guy, wouldn't I?
Not this morning.
Oh. Did you sleep well?
Mm-hmm. Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, do you remember that inn on the Cape?
That's funny.
What?
I was just thinking the same thing.
You would.
I was. You're being very sweet.
Well, you deserve it.
That's very sweet of you to admit that you're being very sweet.
Oh, anything for my darling, darling Tom.
As a matter of fact, you're being so sweet and understanding and selfless. I don't think I can stand it.
Well, would you like me to be a little selfish?
Frankly, yes.
All right. Let me help you.
Hmm.
Do you remember the story about the creation of the earth?
You mean the one that begins with, and on the first day, God created the earth and the firmament?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yes, I remember that.
Well, it says that on the seventh day, God took a rest.
Oh, that's very good.
Isn't it
You
good?
remember that.
Pretty clever of me, right? Well, I was thinking that if we could borrow a leaf from the book, so to speak, and take a rest, you know, just one day a month, so to speak. What do you think?
Hey, that's a great idea, but...
Really, just think about it. One little day a month. 30 days for all of them, and 1 day for us.
Hello there. What's your name?
Don't change the subject.
I already said.
No.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, but I'm serious.
Well, I'm serious, too.
You really serious?
Yes, I am.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Okay, today's the day.
Today?
Today?
Oh, you gotta be kidding.
What?
Do you know what I've got going for me today?
Oh, do I know what you've got going for you today? Such gigantically momentous events as a meeting with the nursery school committee, the builders' church building committee, the ladies' benevolent society for lunch. Oh, I read your calendar.
You have a very good memory.
Oh, I'm glad you think so. I also remember that we haven't had a day alone together in a long time.
Now, you know, I know all those things.
Really, got a great idea. Why don't you just, you know, postpone these things until tomorrow or next week? And by lunchtime, we could be in Boston, and we could walk like crazy until our feet fall off. No one would know who we are, and we'd just be kind of all by ourselves.
Hey,
We do need it, just this one day.
that's a great idea. I really mean it.
I need it, and you need it.
I know.
We both need it.
Why didn't you think of this last night?
Why didn't you?
My first appointment is here.
Well, that's impossible because your calendar says your first appointment is not due for an hour.
But sometimes I'm so busy that I don't have time to write them down. Got to go. But tonight, let us sit down and try to figure out a day that we can go away.
But I need today.
Got to go. Sorry it took so long. Miss Smith, isn't it?
Yes, Jill Smith, Reverend.
Well, let's go in there and we can talk.
Thank you. I don't know what Dr. Rossi told you about me, but...
Well, he told me that you were looking for a job.
Well, that's putting it mildly.
No, well, have a seat.
Thank you.
Oh, excuse me. Hello? Oh, yeah, I remember. Well, I have someone with me, right? It's all right. I have a minute. Oh, could you hold on a minute, Miss Ravick? Thank you.
I'll get it for you.
Oh, thank you very much. Excuse me, Miss Ravick, go on.
Oh, hello. I'm Sergeant Bates. My son and I had an appointment tomorrow, but this morning my son's orders came, and we thought the Reverend might see us today.
Oh, well, he's on the phone now.
Next Thursday.
Why don't you come in and sit down?
Oh, thank you.
No, I think he's done a lot of thinking while he's in there. You're right. He's a very intelligent boy.
Reverend Winter's residence? Yes, he is, but he's on the other phone. This is Jill Smith. I'm just answering the phone. Thank you, but shall I tell him you called, or? Okay, hold on a minute.
That probably would work out. Oh, I can understand that, Mrs. Ravick. Oh, why don't you wait a minute while I check my schedule? Tell him, just take a message, huh? I appreciate what you're doing, Miss Smith, but I really wanted to hire somebody older. Ms. Ravick, how is Friday at 10 o'clock?
Hello? The Reverend asked if you could leave a message.
Done a good job with him.
Oh, hey, not so fast. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Well, I understand. can, but,
Well, no, I didn't go that much.
well, I'm sure he'd like to get back to you.
Hello, Mrs. Winter.
Call you, I'm sure that
You know my son, Richard.
We're all entitled to this.
Hello, Richard.
Hello.
Hello, I'm Jill Smith.
Oh, hi, Susan. Listen, I'm sorry I kept you waiting, Sergeant.
Oh, that's quite
Hi,
all
Richard.
right. I know my appointment wasn't until tomorrow.
Oh,
but I
don't
was hoping
apologize.
that,
Listen, why don't you just go right in and take a seat, and I'll be there in a minute.
Well, good. Thank you very much.
Okay. You're awfully nice.
Here's the message you wanted from Mr. Sproul, is that right?
Well, that's close enough. Have you met Mrs. Winter?
Yes.
Susan, listen. Susan? Miss Smith, now, I really wanted to hire a kindly old spinster. Now, I've got nothing against youth, you know,
Well,
but...
how about hiring me just temporarily, until you find that kindly old spinster? I need a job right away.
Well, if you can wait a few minutes until after I talk to Sergeant Bates, all right? Would you get that? And if it's Heath McClure about the heater in the church, I'll talk to him.
Hello, Reverend Winter's residence. No, it's not Keith McClure.
Huh.
No, this is Jill Smith, the Reverend Secretary. May I help you?